Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who 73 Yards. So, the Doctor and Ruby arrive in Wales, on the cliff tops of Wales, where they breathe in the fresh air, and then less than a minute or so into it, the Doctor steps again. He doesn't watch where he's stepping, this Doctor. Steps on this, string with, this circle of, memories and what have you, and obviously disturbs something because he then disappears for the rest of the episode until the very end. And we're left with Ruby, who wonders where the Doctor's gone. But then Ruby notices that there's this woman in the distance that's 73 yards from her, and wonders who she is. And the more she tries to get close to her, she remains 73 yards away. And at one point, Ruby runs into this hiker, played by Susan Twist, who has a brief role in it again. We see Susan Twist again in it as a hiker. And then she speaks to that woman and runs away. And then she goes into a Welsh pub that has rooms, and she stays there for a while, but then, she leaves because she can't stay there forever and goes home. Even gets her mum Carla to help her out with this whole, woman. And she even talks to her, and then we never hear what she says, and she goes AWOL and disowns Ruby. And even when she seeks the help of Kate Stewart and Unit, again, something goes on with this woman and they end up leaving her behind. And then we see Ruby's life throughout, see her life. And we even see, we see this man, this candidate for Prime Minister, is it Lowry? What is his name? That's it. Roger. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Roger App Williams, who is candidating to become Prime Minister. And we see that he does become Prime Minister, but the Doctor does mention at the beginning that he is the worst Prime Minister in history and purchases nuclear weapons. And of course Ruby knows that and actually manages to get the woman, keeping her distance from her, to go up to him, and then he abruptly resigns. Then we see Ruby throughout her whole life. She works for the candidate thing, the campaign and stuff for him. And then we see her as an old woman on her deathbed, and somehow she ends up back to that day where she saw the Doctor disappear. Only this time Ruby sees the woman, which is actually revealed to be Ruby from the future, and she actually manages to stop the Doctor from stepping on that circle. And then they both look at it, respect it, and then move on, and that's the end of the episode. So what did I like about this episode? Well, this episode didn't have the Doctor Who intro. It just came up with the title card saying 73 Yards by Russell T Davies and saying Ncuti Gatwa, Millie Gibson. So I thought, okay, yeah, alright, this isn't the first time the show's done that. I mean, we did it in around the Whittaker era as well. Also, Ncuti Gatwa, his part in it is very small. This is a very, very light Doctor episode. The reason because of that is because it turns out Ncuti Gatwa at that time was finishing his final season of Sex Education, so he had to, go off and do that, and he had other filming commitments before he could fully commit to playing the Doctor. But I mean, he plays the Doctor now, fully. He's committed to that because, like I say, he wasn't expecting to get the part, as he was the last ever audition, but he did. We see Ncuti Gatwa at the beginning and the end, and again he's got another wardrobe. We see him briefly, and then that's it. So basically, Millie Gibson takes up the star role in this. As Ruby, we see Ruby's life and the mysterious woman. He was at the pub that she went to, the Welsh pub. That was actually a set they'd used before in the Torchwood episode Countryside, where they filmed the pub. That was the same location they used for that. Even the woman who played the landlady in it played one of the cannibals in that episode, which I thought was quite cool and fun. Which again, nothing new to reusing actors throughout the Hoodieverse. But yeah, I think Millie Gibson did a good performance playing Ruby. I believe this was when they started filming the season as well, and Millie Gibson was pretty much doing a lot of it on her own, so she did great playing Ruby. Also, with the previous episodes, I feel we got to know her a bit more, but still, again, like Ncuti Gatwa, she was still new to it. But again, we get the return of Kate Stewart in a brief scene, in one scene, and then she leaves, and that's it. And then there is the character of Roger Williams, I'm pronouncing that right, who is played by, I can't pronounce the guy's name, but we should probably keep an eye on him. I think that the 2046 election in the show, they'll come back to it. I believe that he might play a prominent role in the future of the show. I don't know yet, but yeah, I feel that are we going to see more of him? Who is he? He was an interesting character and like the sort of villain for the episode. Also, the woman, played by Hilary Hobson, which turned out to be Ruby in the future. She didn't really need to do much, I guess, in her portrayal, just keep a distance and that, and we never really do get a close look of her, but then she reveals to be old Ruby, who again is played by another actress. My dislikes are the lack of the Doctor, but given I now know what I know, I guess that's okay. And people have said that this was like the best episode of the series. Me personally, I don't think it was. I got a bit bored watching it on first watch, thinking, where's the Doctor, all this and that? Is this going to be a two-part, because it's dragging on a bit? That's the thing, it felt like a bit of a drag on. But, like I said, this was an interesting filler episode, but I don't like how this whole thing with the Doctor stepping on a circle, then disappearing, and then, the old woman revealing to be Ruby and that. All that to me just didn't make sense. I'm thinking, how does she end up going back in time? How does she end up doing all that, etc.? What happens to the Doctor when he disappears? We never really do get an answer to that, and we probably never will. But yeah, those are just some errors I had with the episode. But yeah, like I say, Ncuti Gatwa had other commitments, so they worked around that. So yeah, I can understand why this episode was as it was. So yeah, I think I've said all I needed to say about this episode now. So ratings, I will give the performances, particularly the lead performance from Millie Gibson, I'll give that an 8. The writing, I will probably give that a 6. The visuals, they didn't need much CGI in this one, I guess, so I'll give it a 5, and my personal, I'll give this a 6, because personally, it's not my favourite episode in my opinion in this one. Also, during that timeline where we see Ruby, living her life, who kept the Earth safe then? And theorising the 14th Doctor came out of retirement to defend and what have you. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. Have you seen it? Did you like it better than I did? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share with your friends and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are linked down below in the description, so you can check all it out. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who Review. So, until next time, run for your life.